Hi everyone, welcome back. Today, as you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about moving on, whatever that means to you. I hope that this can kind of apply to that. I'll kind of just dig into what is going on and what spurred on this topic in my mind. So as we're doing that, I'm going to be getting ready for work tonight. I just have to go in and do one color client, so it shouldn't take too long, but I figure I'll look somewhat presentable. So I'll try to give you some tips and tricks as we go through that as we talk about this subject. So here we go. Okay, so I showered, washed my hair, conditioned my hair, let it air dry to about 90%, and then I blew it dry and used this Pulp Riot serum, which is really nice. It's a heat protectant. Always use a heat protectant. I will get on every single one of my clients that does not use a heat protectant in a nice, loving way, of course. So put that through mid-strand down, and now I am ready to start straight. I'm just gonna go for a straight look today. It is so muggy here in Maine. It's about, I think it's about 80 degrees outside right now, but it feels a lot warmer because it's just yucky. So if you have a chip clip or a hair clip, you want to do that. I have a lot of clients tell me that they just kind of start from the top and like rake their way through. It really helps if you can actually get your hair out of the way. I have my heat set to 355, if that'll focus. I have it set to 355. So what you want to do when you're straightening your hair is you do not want it to be so hot that it's like steaming and making noises, but you don't want it so cold that you have to go over the same section of hair multiple times. My hair, guys, is very chemicaled, and when I say it's chemicaled, I mean it's had some chemicals hit to it. A lot of people also do not know how much hair to take and put into the iron. A good rule of thumb is that you never want to take more hair than the circumference of the barrel of whatever you're working with. So if you have a curling iron and it's 1 inch, you don't want to take more than 1 inch of hair. If you have a flat iron, you don't want to take more than the width. So that's a good rule of thumb. The heat will not penetrate if you take more than the width of the circumference of the iron. And what I'm doing is, obviously I'm just going through and straightening, but also I'm not pulling it straight down because I don't want it flat. I mean, you can do like mid strands down like that, but as far as like the top goes, you don't want to be pulling it straight down unless you want a crazy sleek flat look. And just go through section by section. So obviously the topic of the video today is moving on, and I kind of thought about it because, you know, as a mom, my kids are growing up so fast, and it's encouraging and so sad all at the same time. And so then it started getting me thinking of other areas of life where moving on is a good thing. So let me back up a little bit here. The other day I was talking to my husband, and I was talking about how I was really having a hard time with my son, my youngest son, turning 1. And he's like, well, why? And I said, I've never felt more fulfilled in life than when I've been a mom. And I feel like as time goes on, you know, they're not gonna need me. You know, my son's 1 and I've been nursing, and we're gonna start weaning because he's like eating pizza and pretty much all but eating a steak right now. And actually he has had steak. My husband has diced it up really small and he devoured that too. So he doesn't need to be breastfeeding. So I said, you know, I just feel like he needs me a lot less. I just don't feel like he's gonna need me. And so my husband, being the sweet guy that he is, said, well, he doesn't need you as much as he did. You know, I can always count on him for a very honest answer. And I was just kind of like, You know, he wasn't like, oh, of course he still needs you just as much. He was very honest. He's like, no, he doesn't need you as much. That's just how it goes. And that's what we want for our kids in some ways. Like, but I think we in our minds say, okay, if they don't need me as much, they're not going to be near me as much. And so then I thought of the Bible story of Naomi and Ruth. Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law. So they were both married. They both died. So Ruth's response was, wherever you go, I will go. And your people will be my people. And let's just stop and think about it. Let's talk about that for a second. What could be going through someone's mind to want to live with their mother-in-law all the time? I loved my mother-in-law. I really did. She treated me like a daughter. She welcomed me into her world. She you know, just did everything to make me feel comfortable. And that being said, if my husband had died in Afghanistan, thank the Lord he didn't. But if he did, I wouldn't go move in with my mother-in-law. I can't imagine that. We were so different, and you know, we had disagreements. We butted heads on a few things. But Naomi and Ruth, they were, you know, they had a different bond, and Ruth went with Naomi. So I thought about that. So, you know, just because your child grows up does not mean that they're done with you. Doesn't mean that when they stop breastfeeding or when they start driving or whatever, that they're all set. It's, you know, it's just independence doesn't mean they don't love you. And I have to tell myself that. I kind of have to figure out these things on my own. Like, there was nothing that my husband could have said to make me feel better at that time. I was really super in my head, like just kind of having a little bit of a woe is me moment. So yeah, I thought about that. I was on my jog this morning. I got up really early because I just feel like there's not enough time in the day. So I got up really early and I went for my run and came back, and then it's like, okay, now I can handle the kids and the dishes and the dogs and all that. So I was thinking about that on my run. I was like, I should say that in my next YouTube video. It's just like, you know, when kids grow up, doesn't mean that they need to be like, peace out, I don't like you anymore. I mean, in high school, I'm sure they feel like that. So, just thought I'd share that. And, you know, it's moving on. Obviously, there's so many different types of moving on. Have you ever felt that, like, almost sadness because you're enjoying where you're at in life so much, and you just know this can't possibly last? You know, there are obviously trials and tribulations in life, and there's obviously uphills and downhills. So, like, there have been times where I am so, look how long my hair is. There have been times that I am so stinking happy in life, and it's almost sad because I'm like, oh, I can only go down from here. What a pessimistic way to look at things. But in relationships, sometimes we feel that, you know, like, oh my gosh, he or she gets me in a way that nobody has ever understood me. They, like, put things into perspective. They tell me things about myself that I didn't even know, but they've discovered because they took the time. And, you know, so those types of feelings where you're like, oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. And then down the road, things go south. You know, something has happened where you just know, like, oh, this isn't gonna work. And so many people cling to the good times. Like, I really don't think this is gonna work, but think of all the fun we had. Think of all the good times. It's like, well, you know, that's wonderful, but you can't stay. You have to move on. So whether it's a relationship type of moving on, or a parent-child type of moving on. Like, it's important to know that there are times when it's okay to change, it's okay to move on. It could be a really good path for you to move on. And so I thought about that. I thought about that a lot. So bottom line is, you just don't know what the Lord has in store for you, what you can do in life, how life can work in your favor if you stay put just because you're staying put. Like, I've known of girls, like, you know, we were at young ages where, like, they would say, I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years. I mean, they're probably like 21. I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years. Like, I can't start over now, but I'm so unhappy with him. Girl, you're 21. Like, you're not happy. Just because you spend so much time with him doesn't mean you have to continue to spend so much time with him. Like, some of these things I don't know if I'll ever understand. But I can try. So anyway, yeah, moving on is a really hard subject. We don't like change. A lot of us don't do well with change. I don't do well with change. Change is necessary.
Mommy,
Yeah, buddy?
but first I have to go potty.
You have to go potty?
Yeah.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Say bye.
Bye.
Tell them that you're going to be napping.
I'm gonna be napping and I'm Iron Man. Potty.
I love you.
I love you. I have to go potty. Bye.
Bye. So, anywho, there it is. Straight. Not too flat at the root. One other thing that I like to do is I like to use some dry shampoo. So we protected our hair at the beginning from the heat, and then at the end we can just do a little dry shampoo. There are a lot of, and I just don't use it too much on the underneath. I tangle so much underneath. It's just kind of dry and super long, so I use it mostly at the top. It'll help give you some lift. And a lot of people are saying now that dry shampoo shouldn't necessarily be used when your hair's already dirty. You should use it before it's dirty. So like before you go to bed, you can spray it in your hair and it'll actually give you better hair for the next day. So it's kind of the same idea. I just want a little more lift. Fill it, please. Go to bed.
I have to go potty.
Then go potty. One.
Okay, I'll go potty.
I have a couple of goals what I want my hair color to be, but my hair has pretty much been dark for so long, and I just kind of feel bored. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Sorry, my car needed brakes. So that was them. It's all ready. Which I have to say, it's totally worth getting a second opinion when your vehicle is acting up, because I was quoted $1,200 to $1,500 and my husband was like, no. He comes from a line of people that are very mechanically inclined. And so he said, that just doesn't sound right to me, and I for sure don't think you need all new brakes. It's probably just front or rear. It's rare for them all to go at once. So sure enough, it was just the rear. It really pays it pays off to get a second opinion. So there's that. So anyway, back to what I was saying. If you use dry shampoo, you might get better lift and better life out of your hair, better longevity. I can usually go like 2 days, 3 days without shampooing. And then the third day I'll use dry shampoo. I wear my hair up so much, and it's so bad, but I just can't handle it in my face when it's hot. And I'm trying to be fit. I'm trying so hard to be fit and healthy. So like I said, I leave in the morning and go running. Do you really want to be shampooing your hair every single day just because you get sweaty running? No, it kind of goes up in a braid, or you do something, I do something else with it. But I also thought maybe I'll cut it. I don't know. Maybe I'll chop it off. Who wants to see that on a video? I cut it years and years ago and I liked it, but I just couldn't handle the split responses. Some people were like, oh my gosh, you should have cut your hair so long ago. It looks great. And other people looked at me like, your hair, what did you do? Nothing like that to make someone feel like doo-doo butter. I'll put the links below. I have so much baby hair from having a baby. It's as good as she's gonna get. Yeah! Alright. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Hint, hint. Subscribe, please. I hope to see you in my next video. I try to post at least once a week. If you could hit your notification bell, then you'll know exactly when I post. And give this video a thumbs up so that I know that you like it, so I know whether or not I should do more of these types of videos. I'm still trying to find my footing as to which type of videos to really be putting out there more often. I just can't seem to decide, so maybe you can help me by letting me know. Anywho, I'm gonna go put my boys back in their beds because they don't want to stay put. So there I am. Okay. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.